One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is ignoring the signs. You see, women rarely say directly, "I'm not interested." Instead, they communicate of their behavior, their effort, and their energy. If you can't read those signals, you'll end up chasing salmon who has already walked away emotionally. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, you will feel it in its way she communicates. She won't make Kyle doubt. She won't leave you second guessing. And she won't treacher presence like a burden. But when a woman delays or ignores your messages, that is one of the strongest signs that she's simply not interested. Now, I know what many of you might be thinking. Maybe she's just busy. Maybe she didn't think the time to reply. And while that can be true occasionally, what you need to understand is this. No matter how busy a woman is, if you are important to her, if she values you, if she's genuinely interested, she will find a way to respond. People always make time for the things that truly matter to them. So, when her replies are always delayed, inconsistent, or even completely absent, it's not her schedule of thought is the problem. It's her level of interest. Think about it this way. In today's world, we all carry our phones like an extension of our bodies. Notifications are checked instantly. Messages are seen almost immediately, and communication is easier than ever before. If she's leaving your messages in read for hours or even days, but you see her active on social media, posting stories, liking photos, or commenting on someone else's post, then you already know where you stand. The truth is, Shay's communicating through her silence. She's showing you that replying to you is not her priority. And instead, off confronting that reality, many men convince themselves with excuses. They tell themselves she's just playing hard sign number one. Short and dry replies don't get, or she doesn't want to seem too available. But in reality, ignoring or dealing messages is not a sign of mystery. It's a sign of disinterest. Now let's go deeper. When a woman is excited to talk to you, you don't even have to wonder whether she'll reply or not. The moment she sees your name pop up, she feels a sense of excitement. She wants to open the message. She wants tone gauge. She wants to keep the conversation going. That's what interest looks like. But when her energy is the opposite, when she opens your message, doesn't respond, or gives you dry and word answers after hours of waiting, it shows that she's keeping you at arm's length. Her lack of urgency to respond reveals her lack of emotional investment. And the longer you chase after those delayed replies, the more you position yourself as someone who is begging for scraps of attention instead of someone who values himself enough to talk away. Here's another layer most men didn't consider. Communication is not just about words. It's about effort. If Shirley liked you, even if she was busy, she would send a quick message like, "I'll reply later. I'm caught up right now," or "can't talk, but thinking of you." That's what effort looks like. That's what respect looks like. But when you constantly find yourself waiting, staring at your phone, checking if she'd seen your message, or wondering why she hasn't replied, it's not because she forgot. It's because she chose not to, and you deserve to recognize that choice for what it really is. And I want you to really reflect on the psychological toll this takes on you. Every time you see those gray ticks or that scene marked with no response, it chips away at your confidence. It makes you feel like you're not enough, like you're bothering her, like you're somehow in the wrong for wanting connection. But the truth is, the problem is not you. It's her lack of interest. The more you tolerate or ignored responses, the more you train her to see you as someone who will accept bare minimum attention. You start lowering your standards. It's convincing yourself that even a lateral plea is something to be grateful for. That is how men get trapped in unhealthy dynamics. Chasing after a woman who is already emotionally checked out, wasting weeks, months, and sometimes even years in, someone who has no intention of reciprocating their energy. So when Shedalizer ignores your messages, stop reading her silence as a puzzle you need to solve. Stop overanalyzing every word off her late response, wondering what it could mean. Her silence means one thing and one thing only. You are not her sin number 2, avoiding one-on-one time a priority. And the moment you accept that, Ruth, you gain your power back. One of the clearest indicators of whether a woman is genuinely interested in It's the effort she puts into initiating. Let's be honest. Relationships, connections, and even casual conversations are never supposed to be one-sided. If you are the only one who is always reaching out, always calling, always texting, always suggesting plans, always being the one to make things move forward, then you are not in a mutual connection. You are simply carrying fluid of interaction, all by yourself. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When a woman doesn't initiate anything, it's not because she is shy. It's not because she doesn't know what to say. Not because she is old-fashioned. It's because she does not feel the desire to reach out. A woman who is interested will always find a reason to contact you. Even if it's something things small. Even if it's just a simple good morning message or a random meme she wants to share. Lack of initiation is not a sign of mystery. It's a sign of disinterest. When you are the only one making the effort, it creates an imbalance that is not sustainable. Think about it. Imagine you're planting a seed. You water it, you nurture it, you make sure it gets sunlight. But the soil itself is dry and refuses to absorb anything you give. No matter how much effort you put in, that seed will never grow. That's exactly what it feels like when you are the only one initiating in a relationship. You can send message after message, call after call, plan after plan. But if she never takes the step 2, initiate herself, what you have is not growth, it's resistance. She may respond to your effort, but she will not create it on her own, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Let's go deeper into why initiation matters so much. Relationships are about energy exchange. When you reach out, you're achieving energy. When she reaches out, she's giving it back. That exchange builds connection, attraction, and emotional intimacy. But if you are repouring energy into someone who never turns it, you're draining yourself while receiving nothing. And this is where most men trap themselves. They confuse a woman's willingness to respond with actual interest. Just because she replies when you text doesn't mean she cares. Just because she agrees when you say guest meeting doesn't mean she wanted it in the first place. Genuine interest is shown not only in responses, but initiation. If she never texts first, never calls first, never suggests meeting up, then deep down, she doesn't feel compelled to. And that lack of compulsion is the signal you need to pay attention to. Now let's break down how this looks in real life. You text her first thing in the morning, and she replies after hours with a plain morning. You suggest plans and she agrees but never follows up. Never asks, when are we meeting? You're Theon sending good night texts and she simply responds with an emoji. You keep conversations alive and she keeps them tolerable, but she never makes theme of to keep them going on her own. That's not connection, that's convenience. She's comfortable letting you put in the work because she knows you'll keep doing it. But she'll want create anything herself because she doesn't feel the same level of interest. Sign. Osh 3. Always too busy. Here's what you need to understand. Initiation is not about equality in numbers. It's about effort and intention. A woman who is genuine interest may not text as much as you do. She may not call as frequently, but she will at least make the effort to reach out. She will check in on you. She will ask how your day went. She'll suggest grabbing coffee. She will send you something that reminded her of you. That's interest. That's emotional investment. When she doesn't do any of that, when you are the only one keeping the connection alive, what you have is not a relationship. It's a one-side chase. The more you accept the semblance, the more she loses respect for you. Because women are highly intuitive. They know when they are note-putting an effort. They know when you're the one chasing while they're just sitting back, offering the bare minimum. And if you keep rewarding that lack of effort with more effort of your own, she learns that she doesn't have to value AO. She learns that you'll keep showing you up even if she does nothing. And that dynamic will only deepen with time until you are drained. Confused and wondering why she doesn't treat you the way you treat her. One of the most powerful truths about human interaction is this: body language never lies. A woman may be pilot with her words. She may have an engine conversation, but her body language will always reveal the truth offer she feels about you. When a woman is not interested, you will see it not in what she says, but in how she positions herself around you. Her body language closes off, creating invisible barriers that separate you from her world. It's these subconscious signals, the folding of arms, the turning of her torso away, the lack of eye contact, the stiffness in her gestures that scream louder than words ever could. And yet, so many men ignore these signs, choosing to hear her words while overlooking her actions. Oh, beautiful, pay attention, her body is communicating what her mouth refuses to admit. Think about the difference between an engaged woman and a disinterested one. When she's engaged, she leans in closer, her eyes sparkle, her face softens, and her posture opens up. She might touch your hair, mirror your gestures, or even lightly tap your arm during conversation. These are subconscious cues of attraction and connection. But when her body language closes off, everything shifts. Her arms fold like a shield in front of her chest. Her legs point away from you, not towards you. She avoids prolonged eye contact instead, glancing around the room, at her phone, or anywhere else but your face. Her smiles seem forced. Her loader is short and hollow, and her energy feels like a door that is shelled shut. That is not coincidence. Itis disinterest manifesting in physical form. Many men misinterpret politeness for attraction. Just because she's no-trude doesn't mean she's interested. Women are socially conditioned to be polite, to smile, to nod, to maintain basic courtesy, even when they're not emotionally invested. But her body can't fake what her heart doesn't feel. Stiffness in her shoulders, the way she leans back instead of leaning forward. The way she holds her bag tightly in front of her body is a barrier. These are her silent ways of sign number 4. No physical touch or closeness saying, I'm not open to you. And tragedy is many men push harder when they see these signs, thinking that more effort will change her mind, not realizing that her body has already given them the answer. Another clear sign of closed-off body language is touch, or rather the lack of it. When a woman is comfortable and interested, she doesn't hesitate to let you enter her physical space. She may brush against your arm, allow proximity, or stand closer, without discomfort, but when she's not interested, her body stiffens. If you come too close, she may take a subtle step back. She may avoid any form of touch, or she may keep objects like a purse, a glass, or even her phone between you as a physical divider. These barriers may seem small, but they are deeply intentional. They are her way of maintaining emotional and physical distance, even if she doesn't verbalize it. And pay attention to the eyes back his eyes. Reveal what words conceal. If she looks at her phone more than she looks at you, if she avoids your gaze, or if she gives you quick dismissive gazes, instead of holding contact, she's not present with you. Genuine interest is impossible to hide through his eyes. A woman who likes you will hold your gaze longer. Her pupils may dilate, and she will seem fully engaged, but a woman who is uninterested will do the opposite. Her eyes will search for exits, for distractions, for any placebo land except you. That absence of visual connection is one of the loudest forms of rejection, even if she continues to smile and nod politely. And the most painful part for many men is that they sense this disconnection. They feel the coldness in her body language, but they choose to ignore it because they don't want to face the reality. They tell themselves, she's just tired, just shy, just stressed. But the truth is body language is instinctual, not calculated. She doesn't have to think about avoiding your touch, leaning away, or crossing her arms. Happens. Maturing because she doesn't feel attraction. And the longer you overlook the signs, the more you blind yourself to the reality that she is silent ladling you with every gesture, every glance, every inch of her posture. One of the clearest signs that a woman is not truly invested in you is when she repeatedly cancels plans or keeps coming up with excuses for why she can't meet. At first, it may seem harmless. You tell yourself she must be busy. Maybe her schedule is packed. Or perhaps something you next came up. But when this behavior becomes a pattern, when it's not longer an exception, but the rule, you need to pay attention, because the truth is people. Make time for what matters, Totham. If she truly valued you and wanted to be around you, she would not just agree to plans, she would prioritize them. But when she keeps canceling, rescheduling, or giving vague reasons for why she can't see you, what she's really communicating is that you are not a priority in her life. Think about it. When someone genuinely wants to massage, they look forward to it. They make space in their calendar. They adjust their things if needed, and they show excitement about spending time together. That's how human connection works. You'll create time for the people you care about. On the other hand, when someone is uninterested, they'll agree to plans in the moment just to avoid sign number 5. Talks about other men, confrontation. But when the day arrives, they'll find a way to back out. The classic, something came up, I'm not feeling well, or I'm just too busy this week, becomes a repeated cycle. The excuses vary, but the outcome is always same. She avoids spending time with you. And the more you tolerate this, the more she conditions you to accept that tour time is secondary. Your energy is replaceable, and your presence is optional. There's also a deeper psychological layer here. Canceling plans repeatedly is not just about logistics. It's about emotional interest. A woman who is genuinely drawn to you won't want to cancel. Even if something urgent arises, she'll feel bad for not being able to see you. And she'll immediately try to rest with commitment and enthusiasm. She might say, I'm so sorry I can't make ITA, but let's definitely meet tomorrow or this weekend. That's interest. That's effort. But when she cancels and doesn't make any attempt to rest, or when she pushes it into some vague future like we'll see or maybe next week, that's disinterest masked in poutness. She doesn't feel bad about canceling because she wasn't excited to meet in the first place. Another thing to notice is the consistency of her excuses. If every time you make plans she conveniently has something else come up, then you have to ask yourself, is her life really so chaotic? Or is she simply not prioritizing me? Because he hears the truth. People with Thebosius lives still make time for theons they truly want. CEOs, entrepreneurs, doctors, single mothers, people with packed schedules still carve out moments for the relationships they value. If she can't find even an hour for you, it's not her time.
That's that problem.
It's her interest and the Marie excuses she gives, the clearer that Ruth becomes. There's also a danger in normalizing this behavior. When you lure her to cancel on you repeatedly without addressing it, you send a message that your time has no value. You gotta teach her that she can cancel last minute. Make weak excuses, and you'll still be waiting around for the next opportunity. Dynamic creates an imbalance of power where she controls rhythm of the connection with Yahweh left holding on to hope. And the more this happens, the more you lose her self-respect because deep down, know you're being treated as an option. Yet, you continue to show up as if you were a priority. And let's talk about the emotional toll. Every time she cancels, you go through a cycle of anticipation filled by disappointment. You prepare yourself mentally, maybe even emotionally, to spend time with her on light. I'll be let down at the last moment. The cycle chips away at your confidence and leaves you questioning your worth. It creates confusion because her words may seem number 6, 0 effort in conversations, and nice. I really wanted to come and wish I could maybe next time. But her actions don't align and actions always speak louder. Her actions show avoidance, then no matter what excuse she gives, the reality is the same. She doesn't value meeting you enough to follow through. One of the most painful yet obvious signs that a woman is naturally interested in you is when she shows minimal emotional investment in your life. Emotional interest is the heartbeat of every connection. It's not just about talking. It's about listening, engaging, caring, and showing that your world matters to her. When a woman is interested, she naturally wants to know about you. She asks how your day was. She remembers small details about your conversations. She celebrates your wins, and she shows empathy when you struggle. But when she is not invested, all of that disappears. You'll notice she doesn't ask about your day. She doesn't remember things you told her, and even if you share something mindful, her reaction is flat, all mass mechanical. That's not shyness. That's not distraction. That's a lack of emotional interest. Think about the conversations you've had with her. Are you always the one asking questions? Trying to keep the dialogue alive while she only gives short answers without tasking anything back. That's a one-sided exchange. A woman who cares will naturally flip the conversation toward you. She'll show genuine curiosity about your life, your work, your family, your potions, your struggles. But when she's disinterested, she doesn't bother. She might answer what you ask, but she doesn't dig deeper, doesn't engage with your emotions, doesn't make you feel seen or heard. And that lack of curiosity is one of the biggest red flags that she's not truly into you. Emotional interest also shows in the way Simone responds to your highs and lows. When something exciting happens to you, whether it's a new job, a personal achievement, or even something small like finishing a project, an interest woman will feel your excitement with you. She'll encourage you, celebrate you, and show enthusiasm because your joy matters to her. On the other hand, when you share good news with a woman who isn't invested, her reaction will feel muted. She may say, "Oh, that's nice," or give a half-hearted congrats, but there's no spark in her tone. Naganween happiness in her words. She's detached, and when you're going through struggles, her lack of emotional interest becomes even clearer. A woman who truly cares will offer comfort, encouragement, or at least concern. A woman who doesn't care will respond with silence, change the subject, or give dismissive replies that make you feel like you're talking to a wall. Another clear indicator is her inability to remember things you've shared. If you've told her about an important meeting, a family issue, or something that matters deeply to you, and the next time you talk, she acts like she'll never heard it, that's not forgetfulness. That's lack of attention. Because when sign number 7, she'll never initiates contact. Simone is genuinely interested. They remember the details. They store pieces off you in their mind because the details matter to them. When she repeatedly forgets or dismisses important things you've shared, it's because she wasn't listening closely in the first place. Minimal emotional interest also shows in the effort she makes to connect with you beyond surface-level conversations. If she only talks about herself, only shares her stories, only focuses on her world without ever showing care for yours, that's a sign of imbalance. Relationships are about emotional reciprocity. She should want to know what excites you, what scares you, what dreams you're chasing. But when she doesn't ask, when she doesn't engage, when her emotional energy feels distant, she is showing you that you are not significant to her inner world. And the truth is, men feel this deeply, even when they try to deny it. You sense when a woman's heart is not in the conversation. You feel the difference between genuine emotional interest and polite replies. You notice the way Shara spends with indifference when you open up. The way her tone stays flat, the way she doesn't lean into your emotions. That disconnect creates a void. And the more you ignore it, the more you keep pouring your heart into someone who has no intention of holding it with care. Over time, its lack of emotional equity leaves you drained, frustrated, and questioning your own worth. When in reality, the problem was never you. It was her unwillingness to invest emotionally in the connection from the very beginning. One of the most telling signs that a woman is not romantically interested in you is when she talks about other men casually in your presence. And I want you to understand this clearly. Women know exactly what they are doing when they bring up another man in conversation. It is not random. It is not accidental. And it is certainly not meaningless. A woman who is genuinely interested in you will avoid talking about other men in a way that could make you feel like competition, because she doesn't want you to feel undervalued or unimportant. She wants you to feel like you are the center of her attention. But when she freely, casually, and repeatedly brings up other guys, whether it's her male friends, her coworkers, her exes, or even in some celebrity crush, what she's really doing is showing you where her emotional focus is, and it's not on you. There's also a psychological layer to this behavior. Sometimes when a woman talks about other men casually in your presence, she is testing you. She wants to see how you react, whether you get jealous, insecure, or competitive. But even this test is rooted in a lack of genuine interest. Because if she truly valued you as the man she wanted, she wouldn't feel the need to stir up insecurity. A woman who is genuinely attracted to you doesn't want you to feel threatened by other men. She wants Sue to feel secure, confident, and chosen. So, when she throws other men's names into the mix, especially in a nonchalant or repetitive way, she is revealing that she does not see you as her top priority. Another thing you must notice is the tone in which she speaks about these men. If she lights up, laughs harder, or shows more excitement when telling you about another guy Thonch ever does when she's engaging with final thoughts and takeaway, that is a sign of where her energy truly lies. A woman cannot fake enthusiasm. It comes out naturally when she talks about what excites her. An eye for energy spikes when she mentions Sanathor man. While her tone is flat or uninterested with you, then you already know the truth. She may still spend time with you. She may still reply to your messages. But emotionally, she ice invested somewhere else. And let's be clear about exes. If she casually brings up her past relationships in detail, tells stories about her ex, or compares situations to her past partners, it's a sign of disinterest in you, because when a woman is ready to move forward with a man, she genuinizes. She doesn't waste time dragging her past into the conversation. She's focused on building something new, not rehashing what used to be. So, if you'll find yourself listening to less stories about her ex-boyfriend or the man who used to chase her, understand that she's signaling you are not the man she's choosing now. What makes this so dangerous is the way men often rationalize it. They tell themselves, she's just being open with me. Or, she trusts me enough to share details about other guys. But that's not the truth. When a woman is romantically invested, she doesn't casually talk about other men in ways that make you question your value. She doesn't bring them up in a way that competes with your presence. She doesn't give you the impression that you are just one of manyavsingers in her orbit. Instead, she makasua, feels special, prioritized, and central in her world. And if you are not feeling that, if instead you're constantly hearing about other men, then you must recognize that as a clear signal of where you stand in her.